volunteerism is a form of volunteering. For example, you volunteer in your barangay, cleaning drives or feeding programs and medical missions, etc. Well, citizenship is a form of belonging or being a form of belonging or a status of a person being recognized as a part of a country or a particular place. And nationalism is an idea of movement that helps you identify yourself or being proud to be a Filipino or other country. Just like patriotism, it helps you. You'll have an attachment or an intense feeling about your particular country or yes. And well, the second slide is the students. The study political culture and governance its implication to students' political views is an apparatus or status of having mixed feelings or contradictory ideas about politics or about political culture and the newer generation. So this it says that the newer generation nowadays have a lot of mixed feelings and have contradictory ideas about politics due to the many due to many causes like bad bad leadership bad leadership or you, to social media and other sources that pretty much gives them mixed feelings about politics. Either they like it or either they hate it due to those due to nga ma-affect pwede magbisaya sir due to kay maapektahan sila sa surroundings nila ug sa kanang mga other information na gikan silang surroundings. Next is the political views and principles of the newer generation are muddled by the many fake articles and news that are widely spread by social media. Pero ang sugigan niya nga ano, the newer generation nowadays are easily influenced by social media and other types of information nga gihatag sa internet o sa mga storya-storya sa mga tao. Munang ang karon nga generation dili na kay sa ingon nga ganahan politics or kung di na sa ingon nga ila ra patay pali ang politics kay tungod sa mga lahi-lahi na nga mga storya nga nag-abot sa ilaha. So that's all. Second slide is the theoretical background.
So as for the theoretical background, the first theory of this research is the theory of response stability, wherein according to Converse, segments of a large portions of registered voters simply do not have meaningful beliefs, even on issues that have formed the basis for intense political controversies among upper classes. So, dagang registered voters na dili wala, they don't really have meaningful beliefs on everything. And ang yung response stability is it is caused by individuals nga in need of more meaningful attitudes, but still whenever nga they are interviewed by interviewers, pa-answeran sila survey questions, they mostly do it out of politeness, but wala jud sila unang ilang pag-answer sa questions itself. And thus, ang ilang mga answers are picked up randomly. Mo nang naka-describe ni Feldman back in back in 1989, he found it troubling that randomness plays such a large role in the majority of people's responses to survey questions. And according to Converse, ang response instability it is an evidence of a non-attitude. When we say non-attitude, it is a mental state of having no attitude or no opinion towards some object, concept, or other types of stimulus. But on other typical issues, as Converse and Marcus argued back in 1979, people's attitude may be more or less crystallized. When we say crystallized, it is to become clear or to take shape. And as a result of this, it is more or less stable. But this only raises the question of how crystallization can be measured apart from its supposed effect of response stability. However, in 1988, Krosnick and Schumann said this crystallization or this non-attitude, like, it is merely a metaphor because rather than a testable theory, kaya wala pa man siya like na proved yun or anything. So, for the next slide, please. And the next theory relating to the response stability is the theory of response effects, in which when
We want to
which
uncover
when asked
from
about
this
vague
research.
issues of like
So,
abortion and other types of like LGBTQ and other types of items na nag-influence sa people's attitude, people are more likely to represent themselves as someone interested in politics when they're asked about this type of question that influences their and has something to do with their beliefs and their personal values because like it is said, ambivalence is a term often used to imply value conflicts in the scope of political science, that's according to Albertson. Now, in this theory, it is concluded that, kuan, wait, I'm sorry.
Miss
So
Nakwa,
since,
please, for a while, I'd like to remind you, you still have 2 more minutes for the presentation. You have to maximize the 2 minutes. You are still on the theoretical background.
okay, sorry. So in this theory, it is concluded that survey questions merely do not quantify public opinion. Rather, questionnaires are used by people to conclude their their views or what they want their attitudes to be towards politics. However, psychologists defended that this type of attitude is actually a positive trait because it helps them process and contemplate unsa ilang ganahan unsa ilang unsa ilang contemplate on the issues for themselves. So that's it for the theoretical background. Thank you. Next slide.
all right.
Next.
So, statement of the problem. These are the outlined problems that we want to uncover from this research. So, um, next slide, please. Okay, so since we are talking about implication here, implication by means of the effect already, so the conclusion of how, what is the effect of political culture ambivalence to the students? Kung unsa na epekto niya. So that being said, we want to see og unsa ilang pagtan-aw ani nga mga uh, kani nga field like first is voluntarism unsa ilang pagtan-aw ana because there's political ambivalence everywhere because every dali na ta ma-influence karon because we have the social media, we have we have all sorts of propaganda and stuff. So we want to see as well kung unsa ang difference from non-AB students and AB students if na ba siya similarity. And like I said, we want to see ug kuan ug unsa na ang implications o ambivalence sa mga students because most probably lahi-lahi na gid nilang responses towards political view. Next slide. Right, significance of this study. Right, so students, so so our research believes that the reason why, I mean, there's three characteristics of political culture. First is parochial. That means citizens are aware of the government and does not abide from it. They don't care about it. So our research, our group believes that the reason to that is because there's low political awareness and yeah. So students want them to be aware of, of how politics work, so that they would invest time and understand, para nasa like um, understanding about politics. Because if you don't have understanding about politics, you tend to not really care about it because you don't have any idea about it. So next slide please.
Hello, Mr. Legaspina. I'm sorry to cut you there, but like I said, you are given 10 minutes for the presentation and
Okay.
you already exhausted the 10 minutes. So with that, I think we'll proceed now to the question and answer portion coming from our panel members. We will start with who would like to go first from our panel members to ask question. Yeah, Sir Lloyd, you can do the honor to do the first question.
Thank you. Researchers, I just want to clarify who are the possible clientele of the study or the respondents of the study.
AB political science students and non-AB.
How will we identify the non-AB students? Do we have boundaries or anyone can be a respondent right away? Do we have boundaries where to go, what department or what course, year level?
Everyone, pretty much everyone, and AB students.
AB students and then anyone.
Yep.
Do we have an exact number of participants who will be identified?
40, sir. 20 EB, 20 political science students and 20 non-EB students and not EB, sir.
So a total of 40.
Yes, sir.
Yes. How will you choose the non-AB students?
Selective
We
also.
so basically it's random selection. So we ask them their course and we execute the questionnaire.
Okay. Please be informed that when we say random sampling, you will be identifying a group of people. Example, naamoy 100 kabuok estudyante, and their names will be put on a plate or in a bottle, and then you will be choosing 20 names out of there. So that's sampling, random sampling. So that's why I ask you, when we do random sampling, we need to identify first the specific students that we will be getting 20 out of them.
Okay. Thank you.
So you need to have that soon. And then of all the other 20 will be from the political science majors. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can I know first what's the reason why we need to have the 20 political science majors and 20 non-AB students? What is the main purpose of what is the main goal of the researchers to have these two groups of people?
Okay, so we already assume that AB pol sci students are very exposed and very interested to politics, and to non-AB as well. That's the that's the issue there, because we want to see if there's any similarity or what is the difference behind non-AB and pol sci students, and how does
Okay.
the yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Legaspina, and thank you, researchers. My dear panelists, please do the honor. Thank you.
Who will go first? Sir Teng, you can have your question now, sir.
Oh, panel ba to si Lloyd, no?
Yes, sir. Comment na, sir, sa question and answer, sir. And after this, we'll go to the comments and suggestions afterwards.
Uh, Di ana mo siya nga kanang kuan, iya na kuno ikuan ang panel, ako sa panel, di ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kini si Lloyd kasi binuo si Lloyd eh. Sir Lloyd. Okay. Kuan. Ang ako nabantayan niya ni no sa title. Okay po ang title. Nino tong title no, then I think kuan lang siya. Di lagi ko familiar sa kaning ambivalence. Then political culture, ambivalence, its implication to students' political views. Akong actually na may daghang study sa political culture yun, no? And then kuan siya kanang usually ang kuan gyud na ang sa base lang sa ko ang mga readings ng ana or familiarity study political culture usually i-relate mo gid siya sa mga political attitudes, political behavior, mo gina siya, di ba? So kuan siya akong gitan-aw ang inyong rational kay gitan-aw ko na ko inyong mga gipang cite yung mga studies di ko kaila sa mga scientist nga inyong gipang cite tingali kuan kanang maybe in unsa ni siyang mga tuiga pero naman tayo internet akong gitan-aw ning isa inyong gi-cite ninyo kani si kaning gi-cite ninyo si Converse. Actually, dugay naman yung study, pero di kayo familiar kayo. Kani si ako lang dali o na kani inyong gi-cite sa yung rational si for a while asa na to kuan siya kana more on sa ang study ni Converse kay kuan gid siya kanang sa US electorate mo ni siya more on the voting siya no more siya ganing voting attitude I guess no am I right researcher sakto ba ni more sa voting attitude bini inyo
Yes, sir.
kana bang more na relate sa mga voting ba attitude ako magibasa sa internet
Election.
Election no kanang ingon diri nga about party identification is more stable than other political attitudes ano no so ako una nga ang inyong study is kuan gid siya kanang about the impact of political culture to the voting attitude or political attitude no kana when say political attitude like broad na kayo kuan siya kanang political culture impact on voting attitude no so ang inyong title is broad kayo kay kuan man siya its implication to political views no what political views no you are talking here no ang primero political culture ambivalence nya dayon its implication to political views no student political views unsa man yung political views ang inyong gipasabot no kay kanang may political views kuan na broad na kayo
Okay. Okay. So, political view by means of that's just the generic understanding of politics. So,
na
the very foundation of politics, understanding the basic one.
so kuan siya ining dapat kung mo na inyong title okay naman siya kung you will adapt a qualitative study ka po na siya but be sure lang you will discuss it in your rational pod yung inyong ipaklaro di ba yang and then inyong ipang cite ng mga kuan study kay you are talking here of political culture man political culture at least you'll speak of political culture study na kanang yung kuano like what I know is kanang naay I don't know to applicable ba siya inyong i-cite po na kanang mga sikat-sikat po kayo nga political culture study like the one by Almon, no, Almon study about political culture. So, or kung na siya, nana siya mga kuan na Verba and Almond, no? So, kana siya, you cite those katong mga kuan, mga scholarly works no about political culture po kay ako nabantayan sa inyohang theoretical background ninyo is more on sa lain siya nga mga theories yung paggamit ninyo, no? So, since this is political science man siya nga kanang research paper, dapat you will use mga political science scholarly works no nga kuan applicable sa inyong study nga political culture. Then of course okay ra nang inyong title political views kung tingali kana kuan man inyo ha kanang qualitative na inyong study. So mao na siya kuha so far. Ipaklaro lang sa rational ang inyong kung sa gusto ninyo nga study. Okay. Next, sa may sunod.
Sir G. Thank you, Sir Teng. That's it, Sir G.
Thank you, Sir Ron, and good evening to our researchers, our students. Good evening. Anybody from the group, please to read the title for us.
Okay, political culture ambivalence, its implication to students' political view.
Thank you, Billy. And you intend to employ quantitative or qualitative approach.
And we have Rowana to
Yes, Juana.
Kuan may quantitative approach, sir.
Having that title, you intend to employ the quantitative, correct?
yes, sir.
Okay. May we know what problem or problems, existing problem or problems, you want to address to this study? What problem or problems, existing problems, that you want to address through this study? Pwede ra bisag kinsa sa grupo.
Okay, so there's no accurate problems here in the research, but basically our point here is that um, since we are talking about implication here, the conclusion, so we already assume that there's actually political culture ambivalence. When you talk about ambivalence, it's contradicting ideas. So that's self-evident enough nga ang political culture na to karon is it's very messed up and maglibog ka og asa ka motuo there's so many contradicting ideas and contradictions to a lot of people, and the very point gyud naman is to see the the effect and the different responses and unsa na ang kuan tawag na mo kuan um the, how does the political culture ambivalence affect students' political view? So, fact nga there's ambivalent. The keyword is ambivalence, contradicting ideas to the students. Unsa ang pagtanaw sa mga students sa atong political culture karon, and how does that affect their political view?
Okay. Identifying the existing problem should be considered in establishing in your study, and that has to be incorporated in your introduction or the rationale, so that it would be more distinct as well to the existing researches or literatures. Anyway, with this political culture ambivalence, and it seeks to assess how it affects to the political views
Um,
of
what is the effect already? Because we already assume that it has been affecting, because it's self-evident na there is actually ambivalence in the political culture.
no, no. Oh, excuse me. There has no assumption. You are conducting a study. You do not make an assumption. Do not make a conclusion yet. Okay, you will have your conclusion after your problem should be addressed too. Okay, so that's why if you have in mind that will establish the ambivalence, you have to articulate that in your rationale, situationnaire, statistics, for instance, okay, that would strengthen your claim about this pattern. And you want to look into about these areas as to the, the, the effects probably of the respondents on their political views. Not just assume. No? You discuss that, you incorporate that in your rationale. Anyway, would you like to explain your research methodology?
We have Christine and Discalia.
Yeah, Christine?
Gohar, can you please present the PowerPoint?
Okay. Can the PowerPoint be seen?
Yes. Next slide, Nana. All right. So I guess that's Christine. Sakto ba, Rana?
Fiscalian,
Discalia.
Christine?
Cyrus.
This is first.
So, sige, clarificatory question. Kung saan man siya, ay quali, quanti, or mixed?
Quantities yun, sir, pero mix man ito ang daang mga we have to stick to one, ano lang.
Sige, sige. Ato lang nang i-guide later. That's one of the areas nga atong clarify from your end so that we can also guide you, the researchers. Going back to my point. Now, in your SOP, katong the political views you want to assess or you want to know to the effects of political culture ambivalence to the political views of the respondents, correct?
Yes, sir. And see the difference from POSI and non-AB.
And that political, may we know as to the link of the variables you mentioned under sub-problem number 2? May we know the link of the variables? Yes, that one. Sub-problem number 2. Sige, Billy, you can explain this item. Sub-problem number 2. Are these items or variables taken from your related literatures, or the researchers have decided to put these items to be addressed by our respondents? Yes, John David, you may.
Sir, these were taken from our rationale, sir, but we adjust this, sir, kay para makuha po, sir, ba, kung sa ilang volunteerism, sir, tungkol sa politics, sir, mo appeal ba sila ka ng, for example, sir, sa 2.1, mo appeal ba sila, sir, ka ng na yung mga kuha ng ilang barangay, sir, mo appeal ba sila, for example, sa tawag sa SK, sir. Something like that, nga mo appeal ba sila or dili, diha nga part ang ko, sir. So, nga lugi appeal nila mo sa mga SOP, sir. Sa citizenship, kung karon sir, sa kadaghan na sa cultures nga kuan ko, sir, ito nga mga Korean, K-pop, sir. Na may some Filipinos, sir, nowadays kay murag mas ganahan sila sa Korean culture, sir. Tas murag ganahan po sa mga citizenship sa Korean, sir. Something like
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. Thank you, John. I got your point. Now, these areas are quite interesting. Voluntarism, citizenship, nationalism. Uh, but we have to define clearly as to what approach that you will be employing so that you'll be guided. Kay it seems that it's it's a combination of both quantity and quality.
Yes, sir. Muna among top point pag first,
Seems
sir.
like it, sir, because we are more in perceptive side, so we want to know their perceptions more, and it also characterized quantity because we group them and we collect numbers to see the similarities and its effect.
Okay, okay, I got your point. Probably will integrate in our suggestions later, their researchers. Ato lang isgutan later ang mga suggestions para sa inyo. Ha? Okay, so diha lang sa ako sa akong mga pangutana ko to, ubalik ako ko together with the panelists as to the suggestions, as to the direction of this paper. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Ron. Sir Ron?
Sir Rotan,
Well,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. What was that, sir? Sorry, I was on another call.
yeah,
Unsa ka sir?
I'm done with my
Your question, sir. Okay, sir.
questions, and then we'll probably move on to the suggestions of the
Yes, sir.
panel,
Yes, sir.
and we
Yes, sir.
can
Yes,
also
sir.
help the group.
Okay, sir. Uh, my dear panel members, unsa ni atong kuan, sir, kaning are you amenable with the study or we have to do some revision for it? Answer. Kay murag actually originally nila, sir, kay kuan sila mixed method, but there was a clear directives from the research office na for undergraduate study dili allow sila og kaning mixed method kay even the graduate program murag maglisod gani and ang undergrad na noon mo can take og course sa kaning mixed method mo to nga wala na ko sila gi-allow kay mo may instruction from the officer. So mo ning inani murag nasa ikano kaning murag na mix up siya gamay pero unsa man ni atong kuan ni sir ato silang ikuan or atong ipa-change ang kuan, sir.
so
Yes, sir, Lloyd.
we would like to ask them first kung unsa gid ilang ganahan nga for them is comfortable when we say researchers qualitative, you will be interviewing people into the deeper side of their point of views. When we go to quantitative, you're just expecting answers or responses to a specific question without going down to the most core of their ability to respond with your questions. So, which will you prefer kay sakto tong gingon ni Doc Gimarangan nga when you are studying research, we need to emphasize that our ideas will not be the basis of our assumptions. Rather, we need to research further studies so that we can support the claims of our point of view. So, if ever nga you will be presenting it, katupong ingon ni Sir Rultan nga, the study will be kanang labad if ever nga you will be mixing it together because the graduate school have difficulties also. So that's why we need to identify based on your preference. Am I okay with that, Dr. Gimalangan and Ma'am Asserting? We need to ask them for their choice.
yes,
Okay,
Sir Lloyd.
para we can move forward kung unsaon na to pag-formulate ang tanan ninyong gusto nga mabuhat.
With the agreement also with their advisors.
Advisor, yes.
Yes, sir. Kung actually, I will just respect no with the researchers kung unsa ilahang pilion nga method. I'm just guiding them man po.
Okay. Anyone from the researchers point of view on how to decide? You are 5 man here.
Okay, we want to stick to quantitative.
Quanti. So we are expecting here statistics and differences and relationships, a significant relationship to the group of respondents. Okay. How about the others? Nakwa, Guhar, Vizcalyar, and Delfino, sorry.
I support Agospino's.
Okay, Mr. Guhar, Mr. Amis Nakwa.
Quantitative, sir.
Well, the research we were really aiming to make this quantitative.
Okay, that's good. So we will be having our suggestions as basis for to have a quantitative output of the study. Are we good with that, Dr. Marangan and Dr. Sir Ting?
Yes, sir, Lloyd. The group opts to
Quanti ila is, sige, Sir G.
the group opts to have the quantitative, so we'll just support them and guide them. We'll have just some adjustments, Sir Lloyd, as to the title and the is of fee and so forth and so on. Thank you. Yes, sir. Ting?
Oh, if quanti ilaha is, kung quanti ilang study, so, of course, ang ilang title,
Will be changed.
i-pattern lagi na siya sa katungkuan sa kanang mga usual na quantitative na study. Pero ang ilang study is political culture and its impact to kuan man siya, no? Its impact to political views. So ang title ato lang po tanong Sir Himarangan na kay katong akong gi-adviseran kay nadara mo yung title tingin ito ang kuan lang ako lang tingaling kuan suggestion sa grupo is kanag yung kuan when you tawag ani just like sa qualitative nga dapat kuan gyud puno gyud kayo inyong mga ang inyong mga claims, for example kung sa mga claims ninyo sa kuan usually sa rational naman na diha ang katong mga unsa gyud mga problems that you need to address dayon unsay kanang sa situation kanang unsay mga kanang pamato as said by Sir Limarangan sa global, sa regional, sa national and local yan so you need to read more kanang mga literatures no related literatures on political culture kanya mo na inyo ang i-discuss sa inyong rational no anang mga basta kanang yung mga pure political culture gid siya nga mga studies and then political culture and its impact to political attitude or mga ingana no kay so far ang akong nabasahan sa inyong rational nalagay mo yung mga Habermas no ito na abot ito Habermas murag kuha na kayo asa nagikat si Habermas no so ang ako nailahan niya murag philosophy man na siya murag di kina siya muangay sa inyong study si Habermas so kana tingali tarong po ninyo inyong rational and then of course inyong klarohon ang gap that you need to address no so for example sa in my kanang kuan advices nako kay niana ko nga let's say para nako pwede man kamo assume nga kani siya nga study is already existing internationally it is existing regionally and nationally so ang imo diha is you can state in your rationale nga you need to contribute to the existing studies, you need to contribute a study similar to the existing study internationally na pang local din siya, pang sa Cebu, yan, pwede na siya, no? Nga, you need to contribute, you need to conduct a similar study in our locality. Pwede na siya. That is, murag, nakadungog ko nga, pwede na siya nga gap. That's the gap that you need to fill in. Sa ito ba na, basta murag, you need to address ba? Inyo na siya i-specify sa inyong rational at the end of your rational statement. And then, so iklaro gid ninyo yung rational, and then postpone dito ninyo inyong one SOP kay di man to siya mo format sa pag-SOP sa quantitative study. So when we speak of quantitative study, yung ka nanay profile, what is the profile of the respondents? In terms of second, what is the perception of the respondents? Yan na siya basta kining quantitative. Kanang inyong gibutan sa SOP para nako dili siya mo fit sa quantitative na study. Para nako lang ha, then kato tingaling panlast na kuan katong about what are the significant wala gali no ang what are the significant differences of political culture ambivalence to non-ABing students, no? So kuan siya ato gini siyang i-modify na para siya nga mohaom gid siya sa usa ka quantitative study nga mo'y gusto ni sa inyo. Okay? Ora na.
Okay, sir. Kung ano siguro sir, regarding with the source, lifting of kaning resources in the in the rationale, I made mention and emphasize that one that is not supposed to be. What's found in the rationale are just simply statistics and situationer. That would actually strengthen your kaning claim that there is really a need for you to conduct the study. But more than that, actually, dili siya dapat mag-cite og mga references or at least citation. Kani bitang mga ideas coming from others more or less, but rather kato lang mga situationers, and then cascaded from global, international, no national, going to kaning local, and then kato lang mga statistics lang mo ni ang current condition. So mo tong i-emphasize ni Sir Teng ganina. Siguro sir, ato na lang i-work out atong kuan sir no kay kuan. Unsa man nato ni sir, okay, ang title ba nila sir kay kuan siya kaning murag it's a quantity type of kaning research or quali siya sir, kinahanglan nato siya i-modify?
We need to modify the title kay addressing to a qualitative kay from the word implications we are expecting many answers.
Yes sir.
But allow me to ask the panel if we need to still have the word ambivalence, and the researcher identified, I'm not so sure if it follows to the idea of related literature that we need to, or some of it is focusing on voluntarism, nationalism, and citizenship. I am not so sure if that's the supporting claims of ambivalence, but I would like to ask, because we are now heading to as a quantitative study, I guess we need to specify something as a tapadong kay if we tend to have the three implications or factors and chances, it will give us a qualitative study. That's why we need to focus on one in connection to ambivalence kay para magawa sila nga these items that in relations to example voluntarism, citizenship, if that's the case kung tinuod na sa namo na sa mo support citizenship, nationalism, and voluntarism, we need to choose from those items kay para we need to identify a standardized questionnaire, Mr. Rotan, am I right? Kay we need to question kay para mo surface ang ambivalence kay matawag na siya quantitative if makita nga this group of people who is not related to political science and this group of people who is related to political science, Ni-surface gid siya. Makita na to ang difference sa two of relationship sa ilang course o sa ilahang age. If it matters, then mugawas na dahil ang word na quantitative research. I hope am I doing good, everyone?
Correct.
Okay, sir. Let's start na, sir. Asa ta we can start, sir? Let's start from the topic, sir, or title, or let's start with the SOP.
The title, sir, sa Rutan. After the title, we go to SOP. After sa SOP, we go to theories. After
And
theories,
methodologies.
methodologies. Kay the rationale will be changed. Kay we will be the rationale will be changed soon after the title was being modified already. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir, let's start. Sa tamang kwan, sir, let's start with the title. Unsa may mga suggestion, how can we modify the title in such a way that the title will appear to be quantitative study more than quali? Unsa na to siya pag-improve, sir? Any suggestion from our panel members?
To the researchers, we would like to emphasize katong idea ninyo ganiya sa voluntarism, nationalism, and citizenship. Is there any claims nga nagpamatuod nga mao to siya ang mga mupagawas or mo surface ang ambivalence? If that's the case, we need to choose one.
They admitted, Sir Lloyd, earlier that they have just decided those three.
Okay. Lahara yun yan. Okay. I'm so sorry for that. Wala ko dito.
We suggest that for that group, you have just identify a general issue that would be discussed when we speak about political culture ambivalence. Pili lang kanabang general nga issue para anak ta diha mo igo.
Okay.
Which one can based on your related study nga common dito?
Sir G, panel members, maybe na sila laing, sir, nga topic, sir, nga quanti, sir, nga they're interested siguro aside from this one. Kaya basig, murag, atong makuan, basig na sila laing nga ikasuggest nga topic, kay murag,
Yes.
since their topic ambivalence, kay murag sila mismo is sila comfortable. That's what I noticed. Perhaps, Ligaspina and the rest of the members, you have there a backup topic that can, and then let's develop a quantitative study out of it. So long as nakuha na to.
Third question, sir.
Yes.
Question, sir. If kani ang among researcher ba? What is what is the main goal kanang among nindot ani padung, sir, quality or quantity? So
So you're soliciting the idea from the panel members as to
yes, sir.
regarding your
Yes,
chosen
sir.
topic now kung asa siya patulong.
Nagkuhan ba sa among researcher ba nga kung sa among ganahan ni sir? Kuan among kuan mo.
Yeah, kung asa jud mas bagay ani sir ba?
So you're not really like saying you're not really insisting that you wanted quali. You're just looking for the better kaning research design nga mo fit ani yung study. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any comment, panel members? Kay they admitted already nga pwede rin sila mo-adjust daw, sir. Kung unsa, depende sa suggestion sa panel members kung unsa ideal nga research design for this study. Otherwise, mag-change
You
na
have the alternative example, students' views on what? What's that? Students' views on volunteerism, students' views on state building, students' views on kung saan nga issue, political issue, para ano lang mong concentrate na.
Yes. But if you want to pursue on Filipino political culture,
Yeah, otherwise, mag-quali mo.
pwede po siya if, for example, you want to pursue your study on Filipino political culture, you will look for mga related studies about political culture in the Philippines. And usually ana kay kung ato na pattern sa international nga mga studies, ang kasagaran sa mga i-relate ana is political culture in relation sa mga political attitude. Nga na, so kuan siya, you will make your ang inyong research is tingana gyapon political culture in relation to political voting attitude ingana or the voting attitude of the Filipinos ingana ba unsay impact sa Filipino political culture to kanang the voting attitude of the Filipinos ingana, so pwede na siya, then you will make sa tawag na maghimo ng SOP nga one mo relate ana niya perception ang ikang students perception on Filipino political culture sa ako na magsulti na
Yeah, pwede lang title Sir King. Gusto
title
din sila magkwante niya kini doon sa ilang heart kini culture. Pwede ra students' perceptions or students' views on political culture or students' views on Philippine political culture. Title then sa mga sub-problems kung na ito pwede bungkagon, voting behavior,
yes ana
na ay lain nga areas, duha o tulo na kaha. So,
ana siya guys
ano lang, students' perceptions or students' views on Philippine political culture as title. Sir Ron and Sir Lloyd.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Asa naman atong kwan, sir? How do we move from here, sir? Sana to ni?
Ato, that's the title.
Kato na, sir. Ato, may suggest
Then we'll move on to
the SOP. Sige, sir. Sige, sir. Researcher, can I take note of the title?
Yeah, we will set you
Yes, sir.
ang title.
Wala, sir.
Sige, okay na tong title. Nako, can you please read again the title that was suggested by Sir G? Go ahead.
Students' view on Philippine political culture.
Okay, then let's now move to the SOP. So technically, sir, no, murag na umausog yun isa, sir, no? Kaya also ba na tong title na, sir?
Paanda, i-align lang, sir.
Ay, realign na ang content, sir. Sige, ang sa to ang itong main question, Sir Lloyd, do you have suggestion for the main problem?
Again, the title is students political views. Again, Ms. Nakwa.
students views on Philippine political culture title
Students views on
Political culture?
Philippine political culture.
okay, students views on Philippine
Students'
Philippine
view
political
on
culture.
Philippine political culture, Sir Lloyd.
culture
Okay. And then the method is
Quanti sila, quantitative.
quanti. Okay.
Quali.
Quanti na, no na lang
Quanti,
sila.
okay,
Hindi
sir.
na siya ang question ako.
Oo.
Okay,
Sige,
sir.
sir, ang sa itong main question, sir, atong main, any suggestion, Sir Lloyd, mo naman niya itong kwan. The study aims to
Determine yan po na.
determine, sir,
Yeah, to determine the students' views on the Philippine political culture.
Again, sir.
the study aims to determine the students' views on Philippine political culture.
specifically mo na
Ano siya?
Pero sir, hindi na ito mga sir, kaya marag broad na kaya itong main topic, sir. Bato, hindi siya i-focus sa ito ang research local, sir, na UC. Ano sa manila, sir?
Yes, we need to identify if Philippine political culture. I would suggest that we cannot touch the political science major kaya ang chances your study
yes.
will be based on their preference kay their political science majors man. So we go to other majors not touching the political science majors.
Oh,
So,
I like appeal ang pa.
political science.
Ilang po sa appeal.
So, yeah, we could have English, psychology, and social work.
Sige, sir. So,
We go now, Miss, what's this, Miss Nakwa? We just need to emphasize that after the word political culture, Mr. Rolfan, we just need to say of the students of the College of Liberal Arts in UCMing. Same atong paglas, kay para i-appeal na to ang program and then di lang nato i-identify nga dili i-appeal ang Polsai but in the program nga gi-appeal sa sub-problem or subtopic, it should be provided nga naay program nga gikuha or course or major. So pareha ganiya nga nato program kay para kuan ma-identify but in behalf of the researchers, please try to decipher your respondents soon or identify possible respondents nga wala lang political science major. Kaya para makita mo surface ang political culture without having a background. Okay?
Yeah, pwede ra gyapon sa psychology, social work,
Yes.
English program.
Sa program, pwede na sila makatubag. So, kamo lang, sa later part, when you get to know na the possible respondents, kamo lagi ang nakabaw nga di mo manguha o political science but in the study nga i-identify ang program, you should put or include the course in the demographic profile sa respondent. So we go to age, age, gender.
Kana Sir Lloyd, excuse me Sir Lloyd.
Yes, Sir G.
Sa age ba?
Yes, sir.
Yun ba na sa inyo dear researchers, kana significant na mention ba na ang variable sa age? Kay kung dili, ang tango na ng age, o niya year level na lang, course enrolled, o kanang kuan.
Sir G, kuha na to, sir. Nibalik tag kwanti, sir.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Okay.
Or what is the profile of the respondents in terms
In
of
terms of
1.1? Ano apilon man ang edad? Researchers.
sige daw, researcher. Kung sa relevant sa age.
Wala lang.
Na magbabari ba? Ano daw?
Gibutang na po, sir.
Yan.
Kay, pwede ra siya, kuwan mo siya kay year level, pwede ra year level kay yung hani sa AD students excluding Polsai man. So, di ba, first year up to fourth year man na siya. So, basin mo pare na ang ilahang tubag from first year to fourth year niya program or course involved and then sex, pwede ra kasi mo vary po ang response sa babae o sa lalaki. Year level 1.1, 1.2
Gender.
Ano ba yung gamit Roltan? Sex or gender?
Sex na siya dapat, sir. Kaya ang gender is kuhaan man siya kaning
Preference.
ang sex man na kay we refer to the biological preference sa student, sir.
Sex na siya. 1.2 na siya. Yes,
Sex
sir. 1.3 course / program enrolled. Kana lang sa profile, Sir Lloyd, right?
Yes po. Yes, sir. Noted.
Then, sa sub-problem number 2, question gyapon siya na form of question.
It should be question type. So, so if one thing, actually we need to identify factors nga ma-identify siya nga mo-surface ang political culture. So we need to identify items in the questionnaire soon nga mugawa siya, but in this manner, it should be question type in relation to culture. So
Yes.
uh, what prevalent Philippine political culture observed in the society, probably. So kung ma-question type na nasa ana, it should be what is indicated in the questionnaire. Soon, when you will be having a standardized questionnaire, dapat mo gawas siya nga kana nga mga items identified should answer based on the SOP number 2. So,
Sir Lloyd,
yes sir.
regarding sir sa ila bitang instrument sir, actually sir, I would rather suggest nga maghiman lang sa researcher may question ni kay murag ang ending ani sir sa ilahang kwan kung mangita sa standardized di man mo fit gyud sa ilang study na otherwise ila jud sa ila jung i-modify. So mahimo na lang sa ila din kay pag ma-modify kasi kay maagi ra man gapon sila kaning pilot testing. So better
Okay.
maghimo na lang sa ila din pilot test para makuha ang reliability. Kaya at
Okay.
least kahaon pag yun mismo sa ilahang kay sila may naghimo.
Sige. So, the question of sub-problem number 2 might be focusing on Philippine political culture. So, what prevalent Philippine popular culture is observed in the society?
Types lang, sir. Types.
Type.
Okay. We do have types of political culture, parochial,
Okay.
subject, and participant man. We
Na
have that.
tulo na siya ibok sir G, no?
Tulo,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Tulo, sir. Tulo.
Okay. Okay na siya Miss Nakwa, inigabot sa inyo ang instrument, ibutang na ninyo ka ng checklist and then mo-check lang
Yes.
sila kung sila lang na-observe.
True.
Then pag-abot na sa analysis of the data, kuha na lang frequency percentage kung sa pinaktas na
Yeah.
frequency in terms of ranking, ma-answer na siya ang question.
Nag-dimension na ganina ko dinilink ba kulo parochial, three types, parochial, subject, and participant. So, ana diya makakita na mo sa inyo sa ilang responses political views nila when it comes to Philippine political culture.
Sige. Kana. Type the answer. Okay.
Can you repeat, sir, sa number 2?
What is the prevalent ano?
No, what type? What type of Philippine
What type of Philippine political culture
culture is prevalent?
unsa man na siya sir, magpakita na siya everyday or what? Or observable na siya sa society?
yes, observable sa society?
Okay. So, what type of Philippine political culture is prevalent in the society? Okay. So, ang options na i-provide ana later sa questionnaire kato na dayon tulo. So, in the event nga wala idea ang katong mutubag sa pangutan, you can always support definition nanda kay para dili ba yung mga full-time leaders ang inyong gistudihan. So, you can provide a meaning on that kay para makapili sila o what type of culture or political culture is prevalent in the society based on their observation. So that's number 2.
Sa man na siya sir kanang Sir G kanang ang kanang tulo ka kuan political culture subject nga no kanang parochial sa man imo pag na siya kuan sa questionnaire no napagi pa na siya mga statements lima ka buok no
Yeah, pwede sila motubag ang respondents ana kung sa ilahang wala bag self nila nga mo check lang na sila. Pwede na po sila motubag silang kilingon asa man sila nga type kaha. No? Type of Philippine political culture sa ilang assessment sila kung galingon respondent pa. Aris lang mo check diri sa naman na description niya dito unsa nang parochial unsa nang kuan subject sa nga participant. So
ibutang lang ang answer ang definition sa murag let's say instructions or nga na.
No, after the box or ilahang sikan, ang political culture nga type should have a meaning. And then probably you can also include one type of question nga you will be giving situations and then what do you think? Okay, on the third questionnaire supposedly I would like to suggest nga kanang there are some evident ba nga situation nga this type of culture is still present or is still observable in the society. So naitay muhatag-utag situation nga pamatuod nga this type of culture is still present in the society. Kay questionnaire man type man siya no. So kung moingon ta nga did you observe this type of situation in your society nga kung mas daghan ang nitubag ana meaning we can directly say that the students know the idea that this is the type of um, culture present in their community. Am I
Correct.
okay?
Yes.
Okay, so kani siya Sir Ron will be based probably on their questionnaire. I hope nga the questionnaire will be unsa gitawag na Sir Ron will be evaluate by
Pilot tested, sir.
again.
Pilot tested.
Oh, pero before siya i-pilot, it should be validated first from a political science teacher.
Actually, sir, ilahang advisor can do it, sir. And then, otherwise, through the kaning advisor, pwede niya i-course sa other political
Oh,
science teacher for
Oo.
some suggestions.
Oh, masayang man if ever
Para
na
ma-formal lang ang questionnaire, sir. Para ma-formal lang. Then,
True.
naan na mo to i-pilot test na.
Oo, okay. So that's it. So, our sunod na sa problem probably will focus on the do we need to see the difference, Sir Roltan? Same sa ganya, baka tong first group ni Sir Ting, we need to see the relationship of the course and
Pwede, sir. Kanso, inferential kay moment na siya, the suggestion would always be dapat kuan siya na correlational part instead aside from descriptive kay murag wala siya kulang siya og kaning gibukaton ng study kung
True.
wala correlational.
Okay, ato man
Kay accordingly daw everybody can do a survey. Murag inana tong
True.
comment ni Sir Rex.
Oo, dapat makita mo surface or mo tigbabaw gyud mo evidently be visible nga the different majors has their own views on the culture of the political aspect in the Philippines. So we need to have the relationship and the difference of the variables. Are we good with that, researcher?
Muna to tong last na question no correlation, sir. What is is there a significant relationship between the profile of the respondent and their katong political culture?
Culture, yes.
Philippine political culture.
Their type of Philippine political culture, sir, no?
Oh.
Their type.
Sige. Sige daw, Nakwa, can you read all the sub-questions from the top and then let's see kung you got it all right. Go ahead.
First kay the profile of the respondents, 1.1 year level, 1.2 sex, and 1.3 program or course enrolled. Number 2.
Sir Rotan,
Yes, sir.
ato lang i-disarrange. We go to sex first and then second ang year level, third ang program enrolled.
Yes, sir. Noted, sir.
Ay, mabungkag magutay. Ang sex nasa tunga.
Ang lagi, sir. Miss Nako, nga naman itong imong starting sa statement. Mura man to ganun sa profile, kompleto po.
It should be a question type.
What is the
What
profile of the
is,
respondents in terms of the following? Noong sa mga nagasugod, mas tunga-tunga.
Sorry, sir. Yeah.
Sige.
Nakuhaan ko, sir. What are the types of Philippine political culture is prevalent? Ano siya katong 3 types of political culture?
Dili na mao.
Ay, dili.
Na adjusted na to. Are you referring to sub-problem number 2 na Arwana?
Number 2.
Yes, sir.
What?
What are the types?
Should address on the views of the respondents as to Philippine political culture. No?
Ayun, sir. No, sorry. Ano sa'yo number 2, sir?
What views, ma'am? What what are the views?
What are the
What
views?
are the respondents' views on the Philippine political culture? Kay sa questionnaire na to siya ma'am, mutigbabaw ang type, but the questionnaire will have to surface the answers heading to your sub-problem number 2. Please be reminded nga ayaw makalibog nga when we
Put
say
your side where you want to
SOP,
put your foot.
that is the manuscript. When we
Put
say
that puppy over
interview
there.
guide or questionnaire or standardized questions, it should be the question to be answered by the respondents. Okay? So ang number 2, Ms. Nakwa, it should be what are the respondents' views on Philippine political culture?
Oh,
Are,
Then,
am I right, Sir G? Sir Ting?
yes.
Oo. So
so
that
sir, kanang kuan lang sir, kanang side kuan lang sir, ba kaning clarification. O unsa na nila pag kuan sir, pag formulate ana sa questionnaire sir nga magawas ng matubag ng what are the kaning views sir.
ang questionnaire sir should kaning statement kay na may mga meanings ang type.
Okay.
So if ever nga ang meanings will be indicated niya, the questionnaire will be focusing on situations in the society nga if mutigbabaw siya nga mas daghan ang nabaw-an sa student about political on example katong three type 1, type 2, type 3 if mo surface nga ang type 1 ilang daghan nga natubag, probably they have a background already of what type of
So
culture
mo
is
tay
that.
magawas nga view sir nga tubag sa number 2.
Yes, number 2. So number
Sige.
actually inighimo sa table, himuan man nato sa table nga ang mga
Mm.
students will be or the respondents will be answering questions and then mag-guidance sila kung unsay ang prevalent sa society nga type, which is makuha siya if ever nga they will be identifying situations mo bitaw na the political science majors researchers should identify situations or identity of the type of what's this culture.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay,
I'm
kundi
thinking manggod sir nga para murag mas klaro siya sa SOP, putang na to word nga prevalent kay para mugawa siya nga murag ma-correlate na to. I mean, we can make use of the idea of kaning mode, the most frequently occurring result among the three culture among the kaning types 1 to 3 murag what is the
prevalent.
prevalent views murag ina
Pwede
siyang
na siya,
supply
pwede na buta prevalent kay para kung
para
unsay
klaro siyang
oh,
frequency kung ano highest frequency atong target.
sige go statistics
Okay,
for
murag ang kuan man gud nako
frequency.
sir kay kung mo tag views ra diretso, murag makuan man gud siya nga ang murag bag mo
Ah,
lead sa laing answer nga expected answer niya. Atong target katuman siya nga kuan mga mugawas. So
oo.
mo suggestion lang to nako nga para mugawas ang prevalent para mugawas siya nga frequency ato ta sa butang to prevalent para mugawas ang
Okay.
mode. I don't know kung okay si Sir G and Sir T.
Yes.
Now,
Yes
what
ko
is
okay.
the prevalent view? What is the prevalent view or what ito?
What is the prevalent
What
views of the respondents towards
what are the views of the respondents as to the prevalent view? Unsa mo tuloy?
what is the prevalent view, sir? Unsay pinaka unsay murag reoccurring nga view sa kwan? Tama ba akong pagkuan?
Yes,
Yeah.
ang dapat occurrence
Sir
sa
G daw, Sir G daw, Sir G.
G.
Sir G,
What is the what is the prevalent or prevalent view of the respondents
Toward
to either towards the types of Philippine political culture or
tama sir, tama sir.
as to the types of Philippine political culture?
Pwede na siya sir, pwede sir.
What is the prevalent view of the respondents as to the types of the Philippine political culture?
Go.
Pwede na po ito katong towards or pwede na as to the types. Which one is kuan ka? What
I'll go to towards.
Okay, what is the prevalent view of the
Prevalent
respondent
view
towards the type of
type
the
of
Philippine
Philippine
political culture?
political
culture.
What is
Na-
the prevalent view of the respondents towards the type of Philippine political culture?
O types with S right na.
with types.
Types. Daghan mo na types.
Mugawas na siya ana if ever nga you will be identifying situations.
Yeah, bahinon lang ninyo ang statements nga pang
Oo.
parochial, pang subject,
Oo.
pang
Yes,
minor.
kana, yeah, wana.
Kana. Mao na siya nindot nga question niya. Sir Rotan. I didn't, sorry.
You have
Pinatil
to
as
ask the
advice.
paper. Advisor ninyo, ato niya ba, bangayan mo dito mga statements ninyo,
Oo,
advisor.
don't worry. If the questionnaire will be available, I'm willing to check for the grammar aspect so that mas madali og check ang kuan.
Sige kay kuan na.
Ano may kwan?
Thank you,
Ano may
sir.
volunteer check?
Ano,
Pila ko mo gamit ako diri sa Sunikad, Sir G, Sir Ting, Sir Pinatil.
Yes. Yes.
oh,
So,
good.
kay 10 o'clock na.
Wait, then, tinutulak na sila.
Oh, bitaw, sir.
Virtual
Katong
snack na lang ang ipadala na mo.
sub-problem number 3, kato na tong
Ito na,
is there
significant.
a significant relationship?
Relationship of difference. And number 5 is the proposed.
Difference, pwede rin siguro, sir, difference of relationship, good, sir, or usara?
Depende sa statistician.
Hindi, sir, pwede man, depende man sa construction and sa SOP.
Mas mayo ang difference. Ang
Comparing
Mas
names.
maayo ang difference lang kay kuan man tungod man sa profile so makita nato ang ilang behavior towards a culture based on their major kay wala ba yata nag-touch sa mga poli so makita nato kung asang mas mo analyze og
Pero sir, okay kayo, sir, kapila ng relationship, sir, kaya para mas...
ikaw bitaw statistics.
Hindi, sir, ano na lang, sir, is there a significant relationship between kayo? Marabag, related ba ilahang type of kuan sa ilahang kuan, ilahang profile? Kung babae o lalaki, kung ba siya yung relationship? Pwede man, then comparing means na dayon. Pwede na, sir. Is there a significant relationship?
Kada usa na table ha. Kada usa na gina table ha, di pwede way table.
Na siya, sir, as a interpretation of result. Laban na, sir. Is there a significant relationship between the profile of the respondents and the prevalent views towards prevalent views of political sa to? Datong sumpay sa to.
Prevalent views towards
the types of Philippine political culture.
Sige, sir,
Nice
matos
sa
na
study.
Then ang third, ang ika-fourth niya is kato ng significant relationship kaning difference. Then sir, napatay kani ka-6 kaning action plan?
Ana, butang gyapon ko sir.
Okay, output to, kinahanglan ng output.
Based on the findings, what
action plan can be proposed? Okay na. Sige na kayo, Rastis.
Lima.
Sige, sir. 6 na lang, sir. Napay 5.
Oo, katulang.
Ibong siya
And then,
out siya, tayo 5 daw.
Ron, katulang siya niya. Kining uban ato lang po ning si nasa Sir Sassel niya integrate na to mga suggestion sila. Ako lang bantayan nga kanang wa kayo ni follow sa standard nga format. You just follow the standard one sa ato ang institutional nga phrasing bitaw sa sugot na every part. So, i-follow lang ayaw pagbugna og kuan
format.
Ha. Just follow na aray sample na nya mo na to inyohang paano pattern. No.
Okay.
Sige.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Okay na tate, sir?
Good luck.
On lang siguro, akong last din siguro nga comment, make sure to close contact with your, of course, advisor, naman dyan na, kay mo madyan na inyong kwan. And then statistician, kay mostly of the part mangod, kay dako og role ang statistician para madili, mas timang siya. Kay especially sa treatment of the data, sa respondents nga part, and then sa design, maapektuhan man na siya with the kwan o kaning tungod sa katong statistical nga part. So kato, close coordinate with your kaning statistician na lang.
Okay. Salamat.
So sir,
Okay, sir. Thank you for you.
sige. Sir G, the same with the previous group, we cannot also give a verdict right now, sir, no, kay there is a major revision of their paper. So we will wait for their final revision.
Pwede ra sa karon niya ano man twisting naman po sa ilaha. Ang kining iyahang adjustment pag placing.
Ato mahatag yung verdict karon, sir? Or di na lang? Di lang siguro, sir, kay para kuan o kuyog atong isa nga kuan no kay basig mag-goal tong isa ka grupo nga sila rin mo natag verdict.
Sige, just comply the suggestion dear researchers. Okay?
And then we will wait, sir, no, taman Tuesday for their revised paper dayon para ihatag inyohang rating katong rating sheet nga akong gihatag sa inyo sir sa GC. Sige, ana na lang.
Yeah. Yeah, Sir Finn, Tuesday, bagay na sila sa Finn. Tuesday, ang ilahang
Deadline.
kuhaan katong revision.
Yes, sir.
Sige, sige. So, I think we're all good right now. Thank you so much, panel. Of
Thank
course,
you.
our researchers, thank you so much also. And my thanks really goes to the panel members for staying this late. I'm really sorry. Tama naman ato 9 pero so far murag naman ko yung mga major nga mga good mga consideration towards the last two groups. So, thank you so much for staying this long. Very late na siya, and then I really appreciate your kaning presence and helping out the students for developing their paper. Thank you very much.
Naka-learn mo
Thank
sa
you.
Can we
design.
have one last photo, sir, for this group before we will end the conference? Yes. Kindly open your camera, Sir Lloyd, Ms. Descallar, and Delfino and
I'm not
Gohar.
so
Kindly
sure
open your.
about my
Okay, okay. Sige, sige. Sige, let's have a photo. Just give your best smile. 1, 2, 3. Ay, wait, sorry. Bali ako please. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're good. Thank you. Thank you very much, and especially panel members. Maybe we'll see each other sa kaning oral here sa proposed defense. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
See
Sir
you,
G.
sir.
Thank you, Sir Pinato, Sir
Thank
Tim,
you.
and Sir Lloyd.
Thank you,
Oh,
Sir Lloyd, Sir Ting, Sir Nalpin, and to
Sir J,
our
salamat po.
researchers.
Sir Peter,
Yes, sir. You're
salamat.
welcome, sir.
Sir Ron, Sir Sasil, thank you very much. And
Also, number
You're welcome.
mga researcher, salamat kayo.
Sige.
Sige.